Defining an organisation. An organisation is defined as a person or group of people with specific functions, responsibilities, authorities and relationships to achieve objectives. For example, this enterprise is divided into 4 organisations: production, HR, finance and IT, each incorporating distinct functions and responsibilities along with authorities, etc. So let's take a closer look at finance as an organisation. Typically, this organisation will include accounts payable, accounts receivable and payroll. Similarly, IT will typically encompass the service centre, end-user computing, core business apps and infrastructure, etc. These are the functions, responsibilities, authorities which belong to the organisation respectively. Often, these functional responsibilities and authorities can be referred to as teams. I hope this makes sense. So, what is organisational culture? Well, organisational culture is defined as encompassing shared norms and values that shape employee behaviours and interactions. It is essential to understand its components to foster a positive and productive work environment. In other words, how employees interact with each other. Organisational culture has a significant impact on employee satisfaction. A positive organisational culture can enhance employee satisfaction, leading to higher retention rates. And organisational culture will influence effectiveness. Organisational culture plays a crucial role in determining the overall effectiveness and success of an organisation. Let us understand some of the key elements and components of culture. Firstly, it is important to understand the difference between cooperation and collaboration. Cooperation is defined as working with others to achieve your own goals, which may be part of a common goal. Whilst cooperation is important to ensure standardisation, cooperation in isolation, however, promotes a culture of working in silos. Collaboration is the action of working with someone to produce or create something. From a business perspective, let's take a bakery as an example. Collaboration is about everyone working together to put that loaf of bread on the shelf in the supermarket. Such goals and objectives become dynamic and real-time. Collaboration is about succeeding together or failing together, not in parts. In terms of IT service management, as an example, focusing solely on an incident management report is a prime example of working in silos. Whilst this is an important metric, it's one of many metrics to consider. It's fine if the IT service centre meets its target, but did we ensure the product reached the market on time? This requires collaboration and understanding of the bigger picture beyond our individual specialisms. If we adopt a siloed mentality, is there any wonder why the business are not interested in our service level management reports when they take an inside-out approach rather than an outside-in approach, meaning by starting with the business values and perspectives, thus focusing on what the customer perceives as value. The key elements and components of culture also include the organisation's vision. The organisation's vision defines its long-term goals and aspirations, guiding employee behaviour and decision-making, and not to mention core values. Core values represent the fundamental beliefs of an organisation, influencing its culture and shaping employee actions. In fact, the ITIL guiding principles play a key part here. Many IT employees are unaware of the company's vision, and probably more important, many are not aware of the organisation's current strategy, simply because it has never been effectively communicated. This misalignment affects behaviour and productivity. And let's be clear, IT cannot have a strategy that stands alone. It has to be part of the business strategy. And not to mention, rituals and symbols are equally elements of culture. Rituals and symbols are observable elements of culture that reinforce the organisation's identity and motivate employees. And last but not least, stories and narratives. Stories and narratives convey the organisation's history and values, helping to connect employees to its future. We should also consider organisational structures. There are several different structures. However, let's consider the most common. We have functional structures, typically with an emphasis on hierarchy. Functional structures tend to promote high levels of control and a clear chain of command, with a view of facilitating stability and efficiency within the organisation. However, decision-making is often pushed upwards, which can take time and cause delays. We also have matrix structures, typically with an emphasis on working cross-functionally. Matrix structures have dual lines of reporting. In fact, in some cases, multiple lines of reporting. This structure promotes greater agility and provides the best environment for servant leaders to function. Not to mention, decision-making is typically faster in view that decision-making is pushed closer to where the work gets done. There are also flat structures, which are similar to matrix and where there are virtually no decision-making barriers. However, this is not always possible as a company organisation grows. A combination of flat and matrix can provide the perfect environment, especially where agility and speed are essential.